The shot just rimmed in and out. No good for Miranda Murphy. Timeout. Excuse me, it might even be a technical foul. Trying to wait. And it is a technical foul against Bob Amsbury. His first of the game. Is going to be 5 substitutions coming out for the Norse.
Well, certainly that's not something you see very often from Coach Bob Amsbury, especially when the team is 20 points in the lead. Don't expect him to be getting off his head and making rash decisions. But nonetheless, Luther goes to the line for 2 free throws. The Knights have been dominant, though. Those 2 points that they might get back on this play, the Knights are going to certainly come back and try and earn those 2 points back. No doubt they've got Aaron Jones set to check back in for Adrian Butker, so she will want to come back in again. She's only got 1 foul to her name so far in this game. She'll want to come back in, make these big plays we've seen her make so far.
First free throw knocked down, second free throw missed, so a 19-point lead for Wartburg. As all 5 starters come back onto the court for Luther. Ball inbounded into Hamilton. We're back underway after the technical foul. And the pass, offensive struggles continuing for Luther in this one. That pass goes right through Anna Magical's hands, and the Knights will get the ball back.
Morgan Neuendorf back onto the court for Megan Murphy. Megan Murphy with a brief appearance on the court. She started off the season as one of the starters, unfortunately just not managing to keep her position there with strong players coming through from the rest of the starting 5 that we currently see.
Emma Gertis with the ball down low, trying to get it out. Does so, getting it to Aaron Jones. Miranda Murphy over to Gertis. Gertis gets the screen from Murphy, loses the ball, and there's going to be a jump ball to go back to Luther.
A bit of an unfortunate one there. She tried to drive past the person defending her and didn't realize that there was a defender coming in from the backside and managed to just get a hand on that ball, stealing it away from her. She is doing well, though, recently. She has been driving a lot more. I think she realizes that she's having a big game and is trying to make it even bigger. Certainly, we don't want to see her keep making small little mistakes like that one we just saw.
12 rebounds for her in this game. A 3-pointer from Waller. She came on strong in the second half last time these 2 teams played. They're going to need it again. Unfortunately, unable to get that shot to go. Magical wide open for 3 in the corner. That one's good. Anna Magical with her first basket of the game. That's exactly what the Norse needed to help maybe get them back on track offensively.
Well, finally, we've been waiting for her to step up and make an impact on this game. And we've been waiting for the 3-point shots to come from Luther, and she stepped up and done them both in the same play.
Summer down low to Jones. Jones just too strong in the post. Aaron Jones, 9 points.
Well, it's simple post plays like that make a difference in these games. Very easy pass inside, so a very easy play, and up she goes for 2.
Magical trying to get some going again. Over to Hamilton, who's been very quiet since the first quarter. Waller goes in. It's going to be 2 free throws coming for Katie Waller.
Katie Waller driving in, managing to get a hand, going astray, not making complete contact with that ball and drawing out the foul. Good attempt from her. Again, we mentioned she hasn't had the impact on this game that we expected her to. Katie Waller just, she is shooting, or she does generally shoot very well for this North team. She averages 13.2 points per game, and that's just not what we've seen from her so far. Currently only with 4 points to her name. Make that 5.
Waller on the day is 1 of 8 from the field with 3 turnovers and 3 personal fouls. Yeah. She is 3 of 3 from the free throw line, so when she's gotten to the charity stripe, she's been able to knock them down, and she's going to need another one right here. Any point that the North can get at this point in the game is big. Misses it, but Anna Magical right there. Another big play. Puts up another 3. That one's no good, but another offensive rebound. Spence with it. Timeout called by Luther, able to retain the possession.
Well, that's a good timeout from the Luther coach. It's one of those plays that could have that would have gone back to the Knights. And so, it's big things like that. Obviously, they want to keep it there. They want to keep the pressure on the Knights, try and claw back at this lead. And so if they'd lost that ball, it would have been a big issue for them.
30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here. 53.7 seconds left on the clock. Norris with basically a fresh shot clock for themselves. 28 seconds. Smart timeout from the Luther Norris head coach, Amanda Bailey. And, at this point in her career, she's had some incredible seasons the last couple of years, so it's tough to judge her on any decision she makes. And one of my favorite things about Coach Bailey is her blue boots she wears for her team.
Yeah, she certainly comes kitted out with the rest of the team. She's certainly very dedicated to this team and to the players as well.
It'll be Laura Hamilton taking the ball out of bounds. The North with another successful year this year, trying to add a conference championship, but they're going to have to get through the Knights first here today. The Knights can win a share of the championship, securing that top seed in the Iowa Conference Tournament with a win today. It's a foul against Aaron Jones down low. And Madison Spence is going to go to the free throw line. Only the second foul against Jones, so a lot of room to work with moving forward.
Again, that's not something we do want to see continue from her. Obviously doesn't want to keep fouling. Try and keep those fouls to a minimum. We've seen her had a very good game so far. We've seen how well she can play when she's not fouling. So she will want to make sure that doesn't continue on.
Madison Spence, a very good free throw shooter on the season at 81%, goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and it's back to a 16-point game, the closest it's been for the entire second half. Knights pushed it to 18 late in the second quarter, or excuse me, up to 20 late in the second quarter, and they've been holding a strong lead since. Neuendorf turns the ball over, trying to throw it out to Summer. A tough pass, and it's picked off by Schroeder. Magical over to Waller. Guarded by Christy. Summer now to Spence. Spence has not had success when going against Aaron Jones today, and that results in a turnover. Knights can hold for the final shot of the third quarter. They've held the ball to end each quarter so far in this game. Jones down low. Too strong for Spence. Goes up, scores, and the foul.
Well, just spoke about how effective she can be when she's not fouling and when she's not losing her head. And there we see a perfect example of it. Simple, strong play, doing things right, doing what she's been taught to do in and around the post area, and putting it down for the 2 points.
Gets the hoop and the harm, looking for the three-point play. Aaron Jones, the Knights are happy to have her back.
Yeah, no doubt. She's an incredible player. And it's incredible because it's not just her basketball. We spoke a lot earlier on the season about how she's a fantastic volleyball player as well.
Norths have time to get a shot off. Ahead to Waller. Waller for 3. That one's no good. Tough shot with Jones closing out on her. So at the end of the third quarter, no change in the lead from the end of the first half. We're going to go into the fourth quarter with the Knights leading by 18, 55-37. We'll be back after a 30-second break here on Night Vision.
Are you a high school senior passionate about becoming a writer, producer, editor, or even a cinematographer?
Wartburg College's Department of Journalism and Communication wants students like you to join our award-winning creative community.
We've created a digital cinema and production program centered on real-world experiences, with a goal of helping you master digital skills in video, audio, and live production.
You'll have the opportunity to work in our digital production control room, live recording studios, and have access to our full line of digital cinema gear.
This program is designed for digital creatives who want to explore areas such as screenwriting, producing and directing, digital cinematography and lighting design, music production and digital.
And welcome back to Wartburg Night Vision. We're underway in the start of the fourth quarter. Score is 55-37 as it's a steal for Schroeder, but loses the control of the ball, and it's taken right back by Miranda Murphy. Knights trying to push their lead back over 20 points. Teller scoreboard. Neuendorf driving. Back out to Katie Summer. Still 16 seconds on the shot clock for Wartburg. Plenty of time to get their offense set. Summer uses a screen for Murphy. They're going to go to Murphy, a little bit of ISO. Over to Neuendorf, down low to Butker. Butker goes up, fouled from behind by Spence. Looked like there wasn't a lot of contact, but it was enough to draw the foul. 55-37 is our score with 9:20 left in the fourth quarter. Third foul against Madison Spence. That's a tough play. As Butker had the step on her, she gets the first free throw to go.
Well, if Butker gets the second free throw, that takes her to 10 points. And it's, again, we spoke about how she had a big game the last game, and to carry that on in 2 games in a row is just extraordinary, especially considering she had a very strong start to the season. And as the season's gone on, she sort of starts to drop in her form a little bit, up until these past 2 games, where she has really started to pick back up and show that she is a dominant force.
Butker unable to get the second one to go, so a 19-point lead for Wartburg. The Knights currently have 2 players in double figures, none for the North so far. Luther needs to use every possession to their advantage. That pass is tipped. Otherwise, Hamilton had a wide open three from the corner as Waller was triple teamed as she drove in. No one was anywhere close to Hamilton in the corner, so the Knights lucky to get a hand on that ball. Magical gets the inbounds pass, drives baseline, but she's stopped immediately. Hankey down low to Schroeder, out to Magical. Magical, the hop step, three-pointer. That one's good. And a Magical starting to heat up a little bit. She's got 6 points in the second half.
6 points to her name, 6 points in the second half. She's certainly starting to step up and make an impact on this team. She is the second highest scorer, so they do need her to come in and start hitting those shots, to start lifting up this team and bringing them back into this game.
Norths also need to start getting some stops defensively. Christy Summer trying to go down low, bad pass. No other way to really say that, just a bad pass from Christy Summer, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, just not at all where she wanted that pass to go. Adrian Butker sort of moving a little bit to her left to try and get into the position where she needed to be. But again, just not moving that quickly, not an accurate pass from Christy Summer. Good attempt though, good effort to try and put Butker in. We have seen them using that post position. We have seen the Knights using that post position a lot, and it seems like that's what they're going to stick to so far for the rest of this game.
Knights looking for a conference championship, and they're 8-17 away as that ball goes off the hands of Ann Magical. They have a 16-point lead over the Arch Rifle and second place Luther Norse.
Well, you're 100% right about that, friend. So this has been a big game for them, especially considering that this is the only game they've lost so far in the conference.
Wartburg looking for a little bit of revenge after that loss to the Norse, 66-61 over in Decorah. Driving in, Neuendorf's going to be fouled. 8:07 left on the clock. The Norse need to get some stops and get some going offensively and fast. Third foul against Grayson Schroeder.
Well, the lead has been cut down to 6 points for the Knights. 16 points, apologies. So that is, they will want to work their way back up. But it's just a couple of plays that does that. It's a couple of plays that drops you back down.
Katie Summer, defender is just too tall for the Knights point guard. That's her 5th turnover of the game. Not too often you see more turnovers for assists for Katie Summer. 14-point game. Knights have a lot of experience with Luther making a comeback on them. They can't afford to have that happen today.
No, definitely not. It's something that they, like you mentioned, this is a big game for the conference. It is a big game not only for the Knights because of the conference, but because of the history between these two teams. And certainly with the score now, the score deficit being reduced, the Knights are going to want to find a way to make sure that they keep building on that score.
Summer ahead to Murphy, over to Gertis. The Knights are undefeated at home in conference play. And Luther, they still have a 14-point deficit facing them, but they're starting to playing some good ball offensively. And the Knights have been quiet on the offensive end for a while. Katie Summer to Christy Summer. That's a three-point shot when the Knights need it the most. It's summertime here at Levick Arena, ladies and gentlemen. And the Knights push their lead back up to 17.